CM 365, all about Carnatic music.
Our Vagekaras have been so innovative, I would say, in terms of exploring the vistas of raga, thala and sahitya in their compositions. We often say that the Trinity have really almost exhausted the possibilities in terms of creating new ragas. But then I also suppose that for every Vagekara, the thought process is always in terms of creating something new. So Sri Muttaya Bhagavatar, who came much later, he created a very, very unique concept of a ragam called Niroshta. Now if we look at the swaras, Sarigama Padani, in that we see that the swaras Ma and Pa, for uttering these two swaras, we need to have the lips coming in contact with each other. So for example, Sariga, the lips don't touch each other, but Ma, Pa, if you do for Ma and Pa, we see that the lips have to come in contact with each other in terms of, if you have to create the whole set of Sarigama Padanisa. So now, is there any possibility of creating a ragam without the lips touching each other? So obviously this means that the raga created should not have Ma or Pa in its Arohana and Avarohana. And this is what Sri Muttaya Bhagavatar created actually, a ragam having the Arohana, Avarohana as Sariga, Da, Nisa, Sanida, Ga, Risa. Now Sri Muttaya Bhagavatar created the ragam Niroshta as a janya of the 29th Melagartha Shankarabharanam. So the scale created by him, how does it sound? Sari ga da ni sa sa ni da ga ri sa sari ga da ni sa sa ni da ga ri sa. So here you saw interestingly that the notes Ma and Pa were deleted, which means that this ragam is a Niroshta where the Oshta do not touch each other. So the Ma and Pa is not there in this. Now going a step further in terms of not only creating a composition in the ragam Niroshta, the beauty and the genius of Muttaya Bhagavatar is that he also created the lyrics such that there is no Oshta touching, that is no touching of the lips in any of the words that are part of the Sahitya. Now which means that in the lyrics, if you have the alphabets Pa, Fa, Ba, Ba, Ma and Va, these are the alphabets where the lips have to come in contact with each other. So he beautifully abstained from using these alphabets as part of the Sahitya in his composition. I will first read out the lyrics for you and then probably sing a few lines. So when I read the lyrics, you also understand the beauty of the conceptualization as to how even in the lyrics the concept of Niroshta has been kind of implied or applied by him. Raja Raja Radhite Nada Nide Sharade, that is the Pallavi. Then Anupallavi, Teja Shrite Shri Lalite Shri Isha Sahajate, that is the Anupallavi. Coming to the Charanam, Neene Harikesha Ragini, Neene Nitya Kalyani, Neene Shri Krishnendrana Rakshana Chane Jaya Janani. This is the Charanam. So throughout this, when I read out, you would have understand that the lyrics adopted the concept of Niroshta here. I will sing the Pallavi and portion of the Anupallavi. And the genius that he was, he also created a beautiful Chittaswaram to this composition to further, kind of make it explicit. Because when you're singing the composition probably as words, you may not realize the kind of creativity that is employed in it. So he has also added a beautiful Chittaswaram where explicitly you are able to see the movement of the ragam in terms of the concept of Niroshta. So the Pallavi goes like Rajaradite Nadanide Sharade Rajaradite Nadanide Sharade Rajaradite Anupallavi Tejashrita Shrilalite Shrigesha Sagajate. As I said, the Chittaswaram which comes here, Ga ga da ni sa ni da gari gari sa ni da ni sa ri gari ga da ni sa ri gari gari sa ni da gari sa ni sa ri. Once more I sing. See how beautifully he has done it. Ga ga da ni sa ni da gari gari sa ni da ni sa ri gari ga da ni sa ri gari gari sa ni da gari sa ni sa ri Raja Raja Radite. See how Vagyakaras can be so innovative in their approach. And this is, of course, Muttiah Bhagavatar has created many beautiful compositions. And for this, I would say that he is, through this particular Niroshta composition, he has definitely left an indelible mark in the annals of our music itself. Now, coming to another composition, a Tillana in the same Ragam Niroshta. This was created by Madurai Shri T.N. Sheshagopalan, another maestro. But the point here is that he has created this particular Tillana in the Ragam Niroshta, but the words are not of the concept of Niroshta, because in the Charanam we say that the words like Vikasita, Vadane, Binoda, these kinds of words are used where the Oshta has to be touched. Vikasita, Binoda. So where you see that these words are actually not in the category of Niroshta, but the whole composition, the Tillana, has been composed in the Ragam Niroshta. Now if we look, or rather probe a bit further into this, some interesting points actually emerge. Now if you look at the 72 Melakartas we have, in that if you remove the Ma and Pa, that is, we know that in the 72 we have 36 Shuddha Madhyama and 36 Prati Madhyama Melas. Now totally if you remove the Ma and Pa, we see that we can have a total of 36 Melas. Now in this 36 Melas, we can see that there is a possibility of deriving 36 Niroshta Ragas actually. From 1 to 36 if you keep, for example, in each of this combination, you can have, without the Ma and Pa, Sariga, Danisa. This combination, we can have 36 derivatives of Niroshta from the Ragas 1 to 36. And that is from Kanakangi to Chalanata. If you take, you can have derivative of 36 Niroshtas. So now, the point here is that though Sri Muttiah Bhagavatar called his particular Ragam that he created as Niroshta, as a janya of the 29th Melagartha Shankarabharana, we see that there is a possibility of 36 Niroshtas happening. And interestingly, I suppose after realizing this, names are given to each of these Niroshta Ragas emerging from these Melagarthas. For example, Aushadhi Shapriya for the Ragam emerging from Kanakangi, then Kumbhini from the Ragam emerging from Ratnangi, the Niroshta which is coming from Ganamurte is called Kumara Priya, and so on. So like that for 36 Niroshta Ragas there have been given names. So in that context, if we see that the Niroshta which is derived from the 29th Mela Shankarabharanam is called Putrika. So I suppose aptly we could call this Niroshta Ragam created by Muttiah Bhagavatar as Putrika also. In the sense that after this we also see that some Bhagyakaras have tried to create Niroshta Ragas from the other Melas also. For example, we see that Srimati Lalita Shivakumar has created a beautiful Ragam from the Niroshta, which is called Trimurti Priya, derivative of the Ragam Dhenuka or Shubhapantrali. Either you could attribute, because the Ma and Pa is not there, so you could say that either it's a derivative of Dhenuka or Shubhapantrali. But if you take it as a derivative of Dhenuka, the name given by in the order is known as Trimurti Priya. And in this she has created a very beautiful composition, and I would like to draw your attention to the fact that here the ragam as well as the sahityam all follow the concept of the Niroshta. Let's look at just one line of this composition. First the Arona Arona. Sa re ga da ni sa sa ni da ga ri sa Gangaiyani Isane Ayyane Shankarane Gangaiyani Isane Ayyane Shankarane Gangaiyani Isane Ayyane Shankarane. And she has also very aptly composed a beautiful Chittaswaram here. Again, probably on the same way of Mutaya Bhagavatar, where he wanted to make the Raga Swarupa of that particular Ragam he created explicit. So similarly, for Trimurti Priya, Srimati Lalita Shivakumar has created a beautiful Chittaswaram also. Thus, through this Niroshta concept, rather I would say, rather than saying the Ragam Niroshta, now we know that there are 36 possible ways of creating Niroshta Ragas. But nevertheless, again, it is really absolutely amazing to see how our Vagekaras think and try to create new vistas and try to be so innovative. And I suppose each one through their innovation again leaves an incredible or indelible mark, and we remember them for that. So of course, though Mutaya Bhagavatar has created so many beautiful compositions, so many ragas, the Niroshta concept, I suppose, is his forte, and we'll definitely remember him for this beautiful contribution.
CM 365, all about Carnatic music.